Well, hello, and welcome back to BS in the Afternoon on Hits 105.5, and it is our Behind the Business segment, and I'm super excited to have my friend Sylvia in here. Say hello, everyone.
Hello, hi.
Hello. So, Sylvia, what do you do?
So I am a foster parent recruiter for SAFY. SAFY is here local to Shelby County. It stands for Specialized Alternatives for Family and Youth, but to wrap everything kind of up, we recruit foster parents and we help license families and help support them during their whole process.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Actually, that's super cool. And so I guess my first question is how do you become a foster parent?
Yeah, so I get that asked a lot. We help you cover everything. So what you do, if you truly are interested, is you contact me, Sylvia, for an information session. And an information session is exactly what it sounds like. We would sit down, we would have a cup of coffee, and I would kind of tell you my whole spiel, right? I would tell you what it takes to become a foster parent, what qualities we're looking for, what the training hours look like. The goal of the information session is so our families are 100% educated before they make that big leap into saying, you know what? I think we do want to become a foster family. We do want to help these kids in and around Shelby County. So to kind of like get started, you do that information session with me. Once that's completed, we can get you started right away. There is 24 hours of training, which is all virtual. SAFY provides all that training. We help you with the heaping stack of paperwork, along with some background checks, right? After we do all of that business, we get your file approved by the state because we are state certified for foster and adoption.
Oh, that's really neat. And what exactly does that mean?
So that means that we create those forever families, right? We know that in foster care, not every child is able to reunify with their family. And what that means is when a child comes into care, usually the bio family has some say in, you know what, we are going to get this home together. We're going to get sober. We're going to be able to have support in the community to reunify the kids together, right? Statistics show that that's how kids succeed, is when they are reunified with biological families. But we know that doesn't always happen, right? Yeah. So what we do in that case is we have foster families who are licensed foster to adopt. So essentially when that kiddo cannot go home, when it's no longer a safe place, we look for permanency within our SAFY families, and we help them get adoption certified. I'm actually attending an adoption tomorrow for 2 little girls, and I'm so excited.
That is exciting.
Yeah.
I got chills after you said that. That's a big deal.
It is. It's absolutely my favorite part, kind of about this whole process. Children's services is no fun, but I definitely get to see the sunshine right at the end of the tunnel as far as hearing the happily ever afters and hearing our foster parents have successful family stories, right, such as adoptions.
Absolutely. And so tell me a little bit more about SAFY and what you guys do.
So we help recruit, train, and license all of our families. Once you're licensed as a SAFY family, we would give you calls about kiddos coming into care. One of the biggest questions that I actually get is, Sylvia, is this actually really a problem in our community? Is it really something that we need to be worried about here in Shelby County? And absolutely. So the statistics are astronomical, but SAFY keeps records of their calls every week. And so when I say calls, that means kiddos coming into care. So just last week, I was looking at the report right before I came in here. Just last week, we got 101 phone calls.
Oh, wow.
So 101 youth came into care. That's not all within Shelby County, but that's within Shelby County and surrounding areas. So within all those youth coming into care, we are only able to place 12 of them.
What happens to the rest?
Some of them go to residential, unfortunately. Some of them go to respite. So another way you can get involved is you can become short-term emergency care only, right? You can be that family that the kiddo has a safe place to rest their head, to get food in their belly until a family can be located or until they can get placed with a family. So that's another way community members can actually help out. We also license family as respite. So within all of that, we do our very best to place all those kiddos. It's not because we don't care. It's not because we're not working around the clock. But it's because we don't have enough foster parents. The foster families that we do have, they're full. We can't just keep pushing these kids in. We need very viable and high quality foster families who are going to love and support these kids through their whole journey. Something unique that SAFY does that other places might not do is we concentrate on therapeutic. And what that means is we have our case managers work with the kiddos on therapy, play therapy, trauma-informed care. We give all of our foster parents the tools and equipment that they need to be the best foster parent that they possibly can.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah.
That's awesome that you guys do that.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. I always like to tell this story. It's actually one of my favorite stories, but we had a foster parent. We had a picnic out in the community, right? And we do events like this all throughout the year so our foster parents can come and network. Well, for the sake of this radio station, I'll say this foster parent was named Mrs. Smith. Mrs. Smith came up to me and she said, "Sylvia, do you see that young lady over there?" And I said, "I sure do." And she said, "That young lady, when she was a teenager, used to be in my home." And I was like, "Oh, let's go say hi. Come on, let's go." And Mrs. Smith was like, No. You see, when she was in my home, I don't think she liked me very well. When she was in my home, she was a teenager. I was a new foster mom, and we kind of butt heads a lot. And I'm like, okay. And she's like, "Yeah, I just don't think she cared for me too much." So time went past. We're still having a great time at this summer picnic with the other families. And this young lady ended up coming up to Mrs. Smith. And she's like, "Mrs. Smith, do you remember me?" And they kind of rekindle and have this moment. And I will never forget because I was right there to witness it, right? To see this special moment. And this Mrs. Smith actually said, "I'm not going to lie. I didn't think you would come up to me because I didn't think you really were too fond of me. I know we really butt heads when you were in my home." And this young lady said something that I'll never forget. This young lady, she had her kiddos with her because she was grown, right? And she said, "In your home, I was only there for 3 months. But in that short 3 months, you taught me ethics. You taught me boundaries. You taught me what love was supposed to look like. And that is something I will never forget." And she said, "That is something," I'm tearing up even just talking about it. She said, "That is something that I teach and pass down to my own children." So when we talk about foster care, yes, there's all these happy stories, but sometimes you don't get to see the baton and the values and the good ethics that you pass on to these kiddos. That's not the point. The point is that you tried and you did it, right? Yep. Mrs. Smith didn't know until much later on down the road that she did it. So, it's a wonderful story, but I guess to wrap things up, there's so many different ways that people can help, right?
Yeah.
I know not everyone's meant to be a foster parent. Not everyone's meant to be a respite parent. But we do always take volunteers. I love meeting new volunteers, especially at our events that we do all year long. And we also are put together, we work with community members. So something that we're working on right now that we are actually collecting donations for are spring baskets. There's a local mom here to Shelby County. Her name's April Hoynge. I've worked with her for 4+ years now, and she puts together these spring baskets. So every spring, these kids get baskets full of outdoor toys, STEM toys, educational toys. I mean, she spends a lot of time and effort on these baskets, but it doesn't come free, right? So we are currently collecting donations for that, if anyone wants to reach out and help.
If people want to reach out and donate to these baskets, how can they do that?
They can contact me directly. So again, my name is Sylvia Roop. My phone number is 937-407-0584. Or you can just like our Facebook page, SAFY of Ohio, and if you message us, I will get your message. Yeah, absolutely reach out.
That's awesome. And then I also, if you're on the Hits 1055 Facebook, you can see I tagged Sylvia on a post, so you can link with them as well, just to message her or contact her and see what you can do, whether it's donating, being a respite, would you call it a respite?
Respite.
Yeah, a respite, or even if you want to get into foster care. I think this is something that's extremely important. Thankfully, I never had to go to foster care, but my parents died when I was young, and I had family that stepped in, but if they wouldn't have, I was much older kid, I wouldn't have been able to probably get into a home, you know what I mean? So I was very lucky by that, but not everybody is, and so these kids definitely need places where people love them more than anything, in my opinion. Like,
absolutely.
Just love and showing them that the proper way to love somebody.
Yeah, and I think there's such a big stigma on it, that if you have any questions about it, on what's true, what's not true, what's happening in your community, reach out. Even if you just want to know more information, I'm here to spread awareness as well.
Awesome. Thank you so much for sharing everything today and sharing that story. You made me cry on the radio, so there's that.
Thank you for having us. Yeah.
No problem. All right, that was Sylvia with SAFY of Ohio, and we'll be back on BS in the Afternoon right after this.